I really appreciate you jumping on. This is a topic that I'm very excited about because this is asked quite often of me, and that is, how do I find more opportunities on LinkedIn? I get clients all the time asking, gosh, I do a search and I'm just not finding a lot of jobs. Now, obviously, there are a whole bunch of other job boards out there that are very popular, like Indeed, ZipRecruiter, CareerBuilder, things like that. But LinkedIn is still going to be the number one go-to in my mind. So I want to show you the most common mistakes that most people are making, but how to expand on that, especially when you're doing your job search on LinkedIn. So let me show you a typical search that a candidate might do, and then the issues that they run into, and then how to fix that very easily to double, if not triple, the amount of jobs that you're able to find on LinkedIn. So first thing I'm going to do, of course, I'm logged into LinkedIn. I'm going to click on the jobs tab up top. And then, unfortunately, LinkedIn does not have a very strong search feature, but we're going to have to work with what we've got. So I'm going to pick a sales manager, and I'm going to do it in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I've got a sales manager in the city of Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, it automatically defaults to within a 25-mile radius. It doesn't put any other filters in. But in doing that, and I'm going to write this number down, we came back with 1,193 results. Now, that could go back a good amount of time because that's every single position within a 25-mile radius that has the term sales manager or sales and the word manager somewhere in the job description. And it could go back as long as 6 months until a job automatically goes off of LinkedIn. So this is where most people are making the mistake. So they'll put in their current title or the title that they want, and they'll kind of leave everything else the way it is. Very rarely are they going in and doing any kind of date posted by month or date or whatever. But here's where people are starting to make the mistakes, because you have to think that a lot of companies aren't putting in all the filters. So they'll say sales manager and say, I'm really looking for mid-level to director level, and then they're going to go ahead and hit show results. Now, automatically this brought this down, but you have to be thinking, gosh, you know what? Did I eliminate any good jobs that would make sense for me because the company didn't choose an experience level? Same with salary. If you're making $120,000 and you want to make $120,000 plus, we do that, and if we show results, it's going to show 168, which is about 1,000 less than our original start. Now this is a good thing to do, especially if you're looking and have to be in that range. But you could have also easily knocked out several hundred because a company did not put a salary range in there. So let's take a step back, and then let me show you how to expand this number, and then we're going to use our filters going down, and including the remote filter if you've got an opportunity that can be remote. So one thing that I like to do is you have to reverse engineer a little bit, and you have to think, okay, I'm a current sales manager, or I'm looking to get into a sales manager role. But what other terms, what other titles are companies utilizing for that same position title? I bet if you and I sat down and we started to really think out what your job title is, I bet we could come up with a dozen different titles at minimum of what other companies are calling you. So here is where we're going to implement a Boolean phrase into our search bar up top here to find other similar titles to sales manager. Now, since the box is so small, I'm going to bring up a Word document, and I'm going to show you everything that I'm typing in. So I am going to put these in quotes because I want this to come back exactly in that phrase. I don't want the word manager to be one place on the job description and the word sales to be another place. I physically want the word sales manager to come back. But now I am going to add other similar titles, and I'm going to use the Boolean phrase. So I am going to use the word or. Now what this means is whatever other titles that I put in, it's going to be one or the other. So I'm going to start throwing in some titles here. Business development manager, or let's say account manager, because you could very well be an account manager in a smaller company even though you're a sales manager now. or let's say regional sales manager, or let's say sales director, or how about territory manager? Territory manager. Or let's do sales account executive. Or sales executive. Now, I want to put in as many as I can possibly think of here. Maybe even customer success manager. We can always go back and take these out if we're seeing things going the wrong way. Let's see. How about channel sales manager? Or market development manager. Let's do one more. I'm going to go out just a little bit. Sales operations manager, because I've seen that quite a bit. Okay, so now I've got about a dozen or so here, and I'm going to take these. I'm going to go back to my LinkedIn, and I am going to throw that in. So right now we're at 1,193, and if I do a search, let's see what that brings it to. It brought it up to 4,006. Now, as you can see, we quadrupled the results just because we were utilizing other similar titles. Now, this is where we're going to start bringing this down. So we've got jobs, and let's say we're able to travel out to 50 miles outside, and then let's say now this number is going to start going down because we are throwing in some filters. Now, with any time, these jobs could go back, like I said, up to 6 months. So let's find jobs in the past 3 months. Now, the neat thing about LinkedIn is before we hit show results, it's going to actually show us what that number is down. So in the past 24 hours, we've had 29. Let's do the past week, because let's say we're looking pretty aggressively for jobs, and we're on LinkedIn quite often. So I'm going to go ahead and show that. Experience level, I am not going to touch this right now, just because, again, a lot of companies aren't using this. Same with salary. We can always come back and we can create separate alerts for that. Company, I'm not going to touch. Remote, I'll get to in here just a second. But let me show you all filters, because there's really only two filters that I utilize in the all filters. You're going to see some of these duplicated, like experience level, and so company. If you really want to bring it down to a company, job type, never choose full-time or part-time or anything like that, because again, companies just aren't doing that. But if we go down a little bit further, we're skipping industry, we're skipping location, we're looking for industry. So if you're in a specific industry and you really want to break it down by industry, like maybe manufacturing, or industrial machining, or appliances and electrical, whatever it may be. And let's say that's just happens to be what we're looking for here. We're now down to 77 results. So I'm going to go ahead and show that. Okay. Now, one other thing in the all filters that I do like is down almost all the way at the bottom, they do have a button for under 10 applicants, which is kind of neat. So when you do that, of course, it's going to bring that down significantly, but you can be one of the very first to get your resume in. Now, is that an advantage? Sometimes it is. I guess it depends on how quickly the recruiter's looking at it and so on. Today, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to stick with the 77 results. So where we are right now, we've got, let me bring that back up. We've got all of these job titles up in this search box. We've got Charlotte, North Carolina. We've got posted in the past week. I'm going to actually keep it at that, because I'm going to set an alert here in just a couple minutes on showing us every job that comes up in the past week. 50 miles of radius of Charlotte, and then industry, I've got it broken down to manufacturing, appliance, electrical, and then industrial machining manufacturing. So I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to start going through these opportunities, because again, it's the past week, so a high percentage of them are not going to be expired, and then I will start applying to these. Now, because I don't want to have to do this every single day, type in this huge Boolean phrase, go through all of this, I can set an alert. So when I set an alert, now I am going to get emailed for every new opportunity that comes out. And you're able to go in and actually manage your alerts to say how often you're getting emailed. Are you getting emailed daily? Are you getting emailed hourly with every new job? Are you getting emailed weekly with this entire list? So you're able to go in by clicking manage alerts and do that. So I'm going to go with that right there. Now, one other thing that I want to show you, because this is obviously extremely prevalent, I'm going to go ahead and reset my filters here, right? I am going to take out, and it's very important that you take out the city. So now with just that Boolean phrase of this, we've got 69,000 results. Now this is pretty much nationwide. And the reason why I want it to be nationwide is because now I want to do remote. And when I do a remote, that now allows us to start looking at jobs that are promoted as a remote opportunity. Now, because there's 14,000, we want to get a lot more detailed with our filters. So, you know, even if we post 24 hours, here's 296. We can even get, more detailed with salary. So there's 4. Maybe we don't want to do that because we don't want to bring this 296 down. If we say above 1,000, see, the remote positions, they don't seem to be putting in salary. So that's one thing that you can notice. Experience level, we'll leave it at that. But there's a ton of positions here. A lot of them seem to be with one company at the moment. So let's break this out to the past week, and then there are 3,000 opportunities here. So one thing we can do, especially with this, I'm going to keep this to the past 24 hours. I'm going to show results, and then I'm going to go ahead and set another alert, and that is now my remote alert. So in this little tutorial that I did, we utilized, and this is again one of the biggest mistakes that I see people do, is just searching on one title, or using one title, taking it back and searching on another title, and then taking it back and searching on another, when you can do a whole bunch at one time with the Boolean phrase, utilizing the or in between all of your phrases with the quote. So I hope this worked. If you set these alerts, you'll never have to come back in and do another search unless you want to do it by another criteria. So if you've got any questions on this, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. If you have any questions on drilling down maybe a dozen titles that might be relevant to what your current title is, please reach out to me and I'm happy to help you create that list. So I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I will talk with you soon.